Khamzat Chimaev versus Dricus Du Plessis will not be close, and I'm here to explain how and why. So, as we all know, UFC 319 set in 16th of August, so it's just over a month away. We've got the main event, Dricus defending the belt against Khamzat Chimaev. Khamzat is coming off an impressive win in the first round against former middleweight champion Robert Whittaker. We saw what Khamzat was able to do to Rob. It took him down in the first round, took him down within the first minute, and he just imposed his will upon him. He was landing a couple strikes and he was looking for the submission, and eventually he was able to get the, I think it was the neck crank. I think that's what you want to call it. Let's just have a quick look. Rear naked choke, but it was on the, it was a rear naked choke, but it was on the teeth of Robert Whittaker. So if you've seen that photo, you can see he used the blade of his forearm and it just pressed right into his teeth and crushed his teeth. Granted, Robert did say he has bad teeth, but it's still really, really impressive regardless for Khamzat to do that to a former champ, and Rob is definitely not washed, so props to Khamzat for that. We've got Dricus, who's on an absolute tear right now. I think in the UFC he's on a 9-fight win streak. He's taken out former title holders in Israel Adesanya and Rob Whittaker as well, and Sean Strickland. He's done them in devastating fashion. However, he's a bit too sloppy, if you ask me. Everyone knows this dude from South Africa. He's extremely sloppy how he fights, like a drunken Chinese master, and he's got very good trash talk as well. But before I get into the trash talk aspect, Dricus he does have a good ground game. He's physically very, very strong. He's going to be Khamzat. He's probably going to be the first guy that's going to match Khamzat in terms of physicality and strength, because he's a big dude himself. Khamzat's fought guys like, Kamaru is a pretty big guy. Kevin Holland, okay size, but the rest of the guys that he's fought are pretty small. So this will be a really, really good test for him as well. It's going to be very equal in terms of physicality, but a clear margin, a clear difference in technique. Dricus has, as everyone says, he's got that plot armor. He fights very unorthodox. So he'll stumble and he'll drop and he'll somehow get the takedown on you, as we saw in the Izzy fight as well. So this man from South Africa, you can already imagine what his trash talk will be like in the press conferences. The way he speaks as well, he's got that strong South African accent. I can imagine him saying some stuff like, "But you let the common cold get you, Khamzat." Damn, I can't even do the South African accent properly, man. How do I do it, man? I can do the other accents. I can't do a South African accent. Khamzat, you let the common cold get you, mate. You let the common cold put you in a chokehold. You're not gonna fight me. You're gonna pull out the fight, mate. You're not gonna fight me, brother. I'm already gonna tell you that right now. It's probably something that Dricus would probably say, and he'll probably talk about his links with Kadyrov as well. Hey, Khamzat, buddy, you're friends with a warlord. You're friends with that warlord in Chechnya, brother. Kadyrov, mate. Bro, I'm really trying to get this accent, but I just can't do it, man. I'm so sorry you have to listen to that. But I had to do it regardless. But anyways, before we go a bit off topic, Khamzat's extremely, extremely aggressive, man, in that first round. That first round is the most intense for anyone in coming up against him. Anyone that's fighting Khamzat first round, you get through the first round and maybe you have a chance of survival. Maybe. Now, the issue here is that people talk about Khamzat's cardio, and they spoke about his cardio in the Gilbert Burns fight, and they spoke about his performance against the Kamaru Usman fight. I think the Burns fight was 3 years ago now. He was a bit younger. He was a bit of a crazy dude back then. Not to say he's not crazy now, but he was a bit more on edge. He wasn't composed. He was still relatively new to the game, and you're just excited. So he threw his game plan out the window and he was doing whatever he wanted to do. And you can see his coach was shouting at him, "Hey, so kanana," just shouting at him in the corner, telling him to fix up and to follow the game plan. And in the fight against Kamaru Usman, we saw that Khamzat, he did say he broke his hand after the first round. So Who knows if he didn't break his hand? If he didn't break his hand, maybe he was able to have gotten a finish over Usman. And might I remind you that no one took Usman down the same way Chimaev was able to. Usman is a phenomenal wrestler in the UFC, one of the best wrestlers the UFC has ever seen, and Chimaev was able to take him down multiple times. Even after the first round with a broken hand, he was still able to take him down, which speaks volumes because Usman's got excellent takedown defense. He's not someone that you can take down easily. Mari Fake Newsman is not easy to take down. So we look at Khamzat's two, I would say, sus performances, the Burns fight and the Usman fight, and there are excuses for them. So let's just say a fresh and fit Khamzat enters the octagon. He doesn't really get injured and he fights Dricus. I think he could take him out in the second round, man. I think Dricus is a bit overrated in the ground game, and I think Khamzat could honestly impose his will upon him. I think this crazy man, the one that screams, Allahu Akbar! I want to smash everybody, brother. I want to kill everybody. I don't care, man. I don't give a F, man. I just want to smash everybody. Hey, Joe, I want to kill everybody. So when you've got a nutcase like this that's just screaming, and you just use whatever word that comes into his head, he's just uttering it. Allahu Akbar! I smash everybody! Allahu Akbar! You've got this guy, doesn't give a toss. How can you bet against him? It's impossible to bet against someone like this guy. Look at his face. You reckon this man from Russia is going to give up? He's not some Leon Edwards bum. Yeah, mate. He's not some Leon Edwards. What would Leon Edwards say when he was in the corner against Belal Muhammad and he just swore at his coach? How disrespectful, mate. How disrespectful. Stupid fella he is. But we can see that, you look at his accolades, some of his accolades, fighting in welterweight when he first joined his debut in the UFC, and then 10 days later he goes up to middleweight. Absolutely impressive. You see Darce choke there in the second round, KO in the first round, KO against GM3. We've seen that highlight reel all over multiple times. Li Jingliang, he picked him up and was speaking to Dana White. And I don't know how the conversation went, but I can assume that Khamzat's probably like, hey, Dana, I take your boy, I kill him, brother. I want title shot after this, brother. I want to kill everybody. I smash everybody. Allahu Akbar! And then he just threw him down and got the rear naked choke locked in. And then obviously we spoke about the Burns fight going to decision. It was a scrap and a half fight. I would say probably one of the best fights I've ever seen of all time. This fight, I'm glad never took place. Nate Diaz versus Khamzat Chimaev. That would have been murder in a cage. I think that probably would have been the first murder we'd witnessed in the UFC. You've got a guy that sticks up his middle fingers in the octagon thinking he's gangster. I mean, he's relatively gangster, but you've got a guy saying, Khamzat, I don't give a shit, Khamzat. I want to kill you, bro. I want to kill you. And then he's just smoking weed and whatnot. This guy would have died. This guy, I think we would have witnessed the first murder in the octagon. Unfortunately, and I say for unfortunately, but fortunately that fight didn't take place and Khamzat missed weight. Everything happens for a reason, mate. And then we've got the Usman fight, Chimaev versus Usman, majority decision. I did score that fight 2-1 to Chimaev. And we all know what happened between Chimaev and Robert Whittaker. So all in all, a decent record. Not a bad record at all. And then we look at Dricus' record as well. It is relatively impressive. He doesn't have, most of his finishes are by KOs, and you got a couple submissions there as well. He did go to a decision with Sean Strickland, but that was a pretty dominant victory from Dricus as well. Obviously, they ran it back after a year. He beat him split decision and then unanimous decision. His win over Israel was pretty impressive as well. It was a good win. But then again, Izzy doesn't know how to grapple, so you can imagine how that fight would go with anyone else as a grappler. Let's say, even if Usman came up in that division, I think Usman would be able to take down Izzy and eventually cruise to a unanimous decision. Belal Muhammad would probably beat Israel if he moved up a division, and Khamzat would obviously kill Israel Adesanya. But that's my take. I don't know what you lots would think, but yeah. Izzy boy, he's finished. He's washed. I think he should start looking to hang up. But yeah, so looking at Dricus' record, solid record as well. He's got two title defenses, and the toughest fight for Khamzat in this division. His awkward style makes him a nightmare for Khamzat, but Khamzat can still deal with it. So take what take everything I've said with a grain of salt. Don't be too upset. You know, I know some of you lots are pretty sensitive, but this is honestly my take. I don't think anyone in this division will beat Khamzat, and Dricus is the toughest test outside of this division. Who else do I think that can give Khamzat problems? Probably Nasruddin Imavov, solid fighter. Maybe Derrida as well, but I like to see how that fight goes with Rob first. And that's about it, man. I think Khamzat's deadly in the first round. He's gonna do everything he can to try probably put out Du Plessis as soon as possible. I know Dricus has an insane cardio, good conditioning. He's not gonna fade away anytime soon. It's a 5-round fight, obviously, and I don't see him fading at all in that 5-round fight if it was to go through all 5 rounds. So Khamzat will probably be looking to finish it within 2. And my prediction is Khamzat by some sort of submission by the 2nd round. That's honestly my prediction. If you've got your own prediction or you completely disagree with what I've said, please leave it down in the comments below. I'm always looking to view what other people think of my opinions. Please do let me know. If you agree, let me know as well. If you disagree, let me know. And yeah, thank you guys for taking the time to watch this video. Please do drop a like, subscribe. It helps push my videos out. I'm still new. Blah 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 blah. Tell me what you want to see next, I guess. Thank you guys for tuning in, and enjoy the rest of your evening.